Is Temba Bavuma and Tabraiz Shamsi fit for the World Cup? That is the question that was asked to us by one of our fans today on Instagram. So we will be chatting about that today on the show. Actually, what we're going to be doing is in this particular Q&A is getting a lot of your guys' comments from the live chat. So please send in your live chats so that we can answer them, myself and Aditya. You can centralize it around the World Cup if you want to. You can ask us any questions that you'd like, and we'll try to answer them as best as possible. To the guys that are new to this channel, you have to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. It's 100% free into your inbox every single month, and we will provide you with exclusive interviews, exclusive videos, exclusive content. There's even a crossword puzzle within there. So go to the description, click on the link in the description as well as the eye on the top of the screen, and you will get every issue 100% free. If you're new to this channel, click that notification bell for all future videos, as well as click the subscribe button, of course. And that's when you'll get all updates to everything that we do on this particular channel. So I'm really excited because I like to hear your questions, etc. And I like to hear what you guys have to say and what you want to ask us. So let's get straight into today's video. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your live fan Q&A. I'm your host Khalid. This is my co-host Aditya, and today we'll be answering your fan questions. So welcome to the show, Aditya. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm well. I can't wait for South Africa's first encounter tomorrow.
Mhm.
It's far too exciting. And
Yeah.
I was at the press conference not too long ago, so I think that has just added to the build up to that first game.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting here like Temba Bavuma currently with butterflies in my stomach a little bit, so I'm a little bit nervous about things. But let's get into the fan questions. We have one already in the live chat. I'm going to get to your one very soon. But let's start with the Instagram questions. We've got one from Shakar. He says, who will be the top scorer and wicket taker for SA in the World Cup, and where will SA finish? I'm going to say South Africa straight into the final as an optimist. I'm going to say into the final. Okay, but if I'm talking realistically, I'm going to give them at least into the knockout stages, and then anything's going to happen. I honestly do believe that South Africa can beat Australia and West Indies, particularly. And I do think that we can make it out of the group. I know that there are a lot of guys, there are a lot of two teams that have been added to our group that are really challenging to face. But I think South Africa can get through that as well. I feel a lot more confident with their ability against spin. So I think they'll get better and better as the tournament goes along. With regards to scorer and wicket taker, I'm going to put my bet on Aiden Markram as being the top scorer and the top wicket taker actually being Tabraiz Shamsi. Aditya, who do you think is going to dominate?
Top run scorer will be Aiden Markram as well, but top wicket taker in my view will be Andrik Nokia.
I love it. And that was going to be my first answer, but then I pulled back and I said Tabraiz because Tabraiz is my boy, and I hope Tabraiz is going to be excellent. So happy to answer the main question now. Temba Bavuma and both Tabraiz Shamsi are fit, ready to play. I'm so happy that they both are. We're gonna see them against Australia. Let's move on. Who do you think? This is from JSF. I don't know. Oh, JS Free Signals. Who do you think will be the highest runs? He just asked exactly the same question as the person before. Oh, sorry. Who do you think will be the highest run scorer for SA in the first match? And will there be overseas players in the MSL? I can't answer the question about the MSL quite yet. I haven't looked at the article that was written about the draft today, so maybe there is some insight in that article. I'll have a look a little later. But with regards to run score in the first match, I think Quinton de Kock. I think he's hungry. I think he'll be wanting to score against Australia, and I think that Australia is a target for him every single game. Who's your pick, Aditya?
I think Temba will come to the party tomorrow, and he will. I'm fairly confident that he will open the batting with Quinny. Uh, but the reason I say that is because I think he's going to enjoy the pace that um, the Aussie bowlers will have to offer. Given that both Quinny and Temba good players of spin, I don't know if they'll start the power play with spinners. I think they'll start with the fast bowlers, and I think Temba will like that. New ball, hard ball coming onto the bat, at pace. It would be good for his confidence. So I do think Temba can play a role tomorrow, and then Aiden Markram. He's got a solid record against Australia. He can do well.
I always back with him, Mark. I mean, he knows that. So let me go into the next question, and you can start this one off, Aditya. It's from JLJ underscore Jerome. Do you think Rassi should bat at three? His stats batting at three is much better than batting at four.
Yeah, very good question. Uh, Personally, he should bat no lower than four. But T20 is a funny game. It depends on, and certainly in the UAE, it depends entirely on what the match situation is. If South Africa are 50 for two in the seventh over, then it makes sense for Rassi to come in at three. Um, but if South Africa are 130 for two in the 14th over, then it may be more useful for Aiden and Miller to be at the crease at that time.
I agree with you
So
100% on that one.
depends on the match situation.
Mm, I agree with that. And that brings us into our next question from the live chat, and that's from Praneet. He says, can Timber be used as a floater? Play him according to match situation rather than forcing him to open and play with a higher strike rate. I personally think that Timber does need a little bit, maybe more time to get in. And I think that the power play is probably his best chance of really hurting the fast bowlers, particularly, and even the spinners, because I think that he does get down really well to the spin as well. I've been very impressed with his approach. He just needs to execute his shots a lot better than he does under pressure. But I don't see Temba as the floater. I see that Aiden could be possibly more of a floater type of role. I see Aiden, if we need to, if we need him to come in early to take us out and still can maintain the fast scoring rate, then if Temba and Quinton got to a great start, but Temba lost his wicket early, Aiden will be the perfect person to bring in because he can almost start scoring almost instantly. Um, if that was the case, if it was a very very early wicket, and we needed someone to actually sit in there with the likes of Quinton de Kock, then I'll bring in Rasif van der Dussen because he has some more time to push on, and then they both kind of can push on and accelerate the run rate within the middle overs, which will be excellent because Rasif will come in with the come into himself, and Quinton de Kock will just be going in his own merry way. So that's my thought on that. Yours, Aditya?
No, I mean Temba's going to open the batting, so he can't be used as a floater. Um, but I think it's the ideal situation for him because if he's opening and the power play compels him to strike at a higher rate, if it comes off, great. If it doesn't come off, the sun will shine again tomorrow. So we don't have to worry too much about that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, look, I think in an ideal scenario in this day and age, batters, even anchors, are scoring at 135, 140. So if Temba can get to that, irrespective of how he does, it doesn't matter whether he hits massive sixes or not. As long as he can find a way to get to bat at 135, 140, that's okay.
Hmm. Okay, so who in the Aussie lineup are you the most worried about? Okay, let me think about this. I never mentioned Josh Hazelwood yesterday, and his form has been pretty decent. He's looked quite dangerous actually. The way he's using his slower deliveries as well is quite scary. Um, but I have to say that I'm a little bit scared of David Warner, particularly with the history with the whole ball tampering and everything that has happened in the past with South Africa. I think he has a vendetta against South Africa. Like I think that he feels that he really wants to punish us for everything that has happened. So I'm a little bit wary of him and scared of him. I would have to say Glenn Maxwell as well, because I feel that if we can get on top of Australia and get a couple of early wickets, Glenn Maxwell can really hurt you if he comes in early. So I'll rather have Glenn Maxwell come in a little later than come in right at like after like 50 runs on the board or something like that. And Australia can now kick on and hurt us.
Yeah.
So I really would. I think those are the guys that I'm probably the most scared of. I'm not so scared of Steve Smith, to be honest. I know that he can hurt you, but I feel that we have the bowling attack to be able to give him a lot of issues.
Um, well, I guess based on form, at the very of Mitch Marsh, Steve
Mm,
Smith, Maxwell, and I think Matthew Wade is a dangerous batsman. Matthew Wade can be seriously dangerous, and if he's batting at the top of the order, then anything
yeah.
can happen. Um,
Hmm.
but I think if we're talking about bowlers, Mitchell Stark is always a threat in white ball cricket because few bowlers can land their Yorkers as accurately and as frequently as he does. So, and left arm slinging action, that's always a threat. Uh, Pat Cummins will be coming in after a while, so we don't know what his
Mm,
form is like, and he's coming in rusty, I think.
mm.
But Josh Hazelwood, he's had a fantastic time with Chennai, and
Yeah.
he's played I think every game in the second leg of the IPL. Not to mention he's sort of battle hardened because Chennai made it to the playoffs and the finals and they won the tournament and all that. So his confidence is sky high. Um, so yeah, Josh Hazelwood is definitely one guy who
Yeah.
I'm sure Australia will select, and he's one that South Africa should be concerned about.
Cross fingers so that Lungengiri can give us some insight into his teammate. Let's go on to the next one. Let's see. These are the statements. Okay. Do you play three spinners tomorrow, or do we get three seamers in Gideon, Nokia, and KG? I'm gonna have to say that it will have to be based on conditions tomorrow, and they have to look at the pitch, and decide. But to be honest, I think three spinners should be the way we go. I think that spin will trouble Australia more than what I think our seam bowlers necessarily will do. Like I said earlier on, even if we play three spinners, I will still play Nokia and KG. I will still do that. Um, I'll just bat with a better light and play the all rounder higher. With me personally. So that's me. That's what I would do personally. What would you do, Aditya?
I'd play KG, Hendrik, two spinners in Shamo and Keshav, and Aiden can perhaps chip in with a couple of overs as the fifth bowler, and I think uh, Dwayne Pretorius and Vian Mulder can be options as well. Because there's been so much talk about slow conditions and dry conditions, but that doesn't necessarily equate with spinner friendly conditions. So I think two spinners, three spinners with Aiden Markram included, can do the job, but variations, slow ball variations that Dwayne Pretorius might be able to deliver, Vian Mulder might be able to deliver, not to mention their ability with the bat, will probably be the ideal balance in my view.
Okay, agree to disagree. Um, no, I'm joking. Look, let's go on to the next one. There's a lot of matchups over here. Uh, um, there we go. Do you think there's added pressure on Temba given his slow starts in the warm up games? No. Like I said before, I think Temba's mindset in his warm up games would have been to just get as much game time in the middle, get bat on ball as many times as possible, so that he can really feel how his hand is coping. Like we weren't sure about his fitness leading up to this particular tournament in the warm-up game. So it's very good to see that he got some bat on ball, that he scored some runs. So I think that he'll turn it on when he needs to. I think he understands his role within the team, and I think the team are very happy with his role in the team. So I think we just need to now put our put our belief in the side, put our belief in the Proteas, and let's see what they can do. Did you pick up anything maybe from the press conference that maybe can give answer to this, Aditya?
Yeah. Um, Temba was asked the question if his strike rate bothered him, or if he felt like he would have liked to strike the high rate, and he was quite unequivocal in his response, in which he said that he hasn't played cricket for a long time, and he was using that time to formulate a game plan and get acclimated to the conditions. So that was his priority. Look, I've been critical of Temba's strike rate as well, but then at some point you have to keep context in mind. It's a warm up game. It's fine. He's getting used to conditions. He's recovering from an injury, and it's never easy to come back from it. So now that Temba seems a bit more confident, I think he'll change gears when required.
Hmm. So last question for the night. How will SA stop Maxwell? You go first, Aditya, because people did have an opportunity to stop him in the IPL. Some, at least.
Well, as Maxwell once responded to that question, saying that place 10 fielders in the stands. But that's not what I'm going to say. uh, I think it's important for
Arrogance of the Australians. Oh my lord.
Maxwell is a tricky customer, but what you've got to do with Maxwell is you've got to frustrate him. In the IPL, he had a great season with the RCB, uh, but there were a couple of games where he didn't perform, and perhaps a common factor was when he wasn't able to get going. When he wasn't able to get those boundaries and those sixes, and he was frustrated because the pressure was mounting. That's when Maxwell is vulnerable, and South Africa should take advantage of that. Bowl as many dot balls as you can to him. Field well when you're bowling to Maxwell, and bowl outside his hitting arc. That's going to be important. Don't let him get away with his switch hits, or that have
Mm.
protection for that sort of thing, because that's his go-to shot. Don't let him play that sort of thing.
That's where I feel like someone like Keshav will really frustrate Glenn, because Keshav's a very
Yeah.
smart bowler. I think that he'll be able to maybe outskill him, and maybe someone like Dwayne Pretorius with his slower deliveries as well.
And that's where captaincy is also going to be really important, because
Mm.
if Keshav is bowling some tight overs, he needs to have that protection to cover for that switch hit. You know,
Mhm.
so that's where captaincy is going to be very important, and I'd like to see how Temba handles it. But the most important, in my view, is to frustrate Maxwell as much as possible. Don't let
Mm.
him get away with a high strike rate.
Mhm. Here's a suggestion from a fan. He says Maxi has too many shots against spin. Attack him with bounces and slower balls. While we have enough in our arsenal to be able to do that. Uh, so, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine Monthly. The link is in the description and as well as an eye on the screen. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. That's how you get all updates on every single video that we'll be uploading throughout this World Cup. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow for our review show. Very excited about this one. To the Proteas, good luck. I'm really excited about this tournament. I think all of us are, all the fans are right behind you, and we're going to be supporting you right until the end of this tournament. You making us proud just by going out there onto the field. So just do yourself a favor and play your own game. Trust your game plans. Worry about your own game. Listen to the coach, etc., and just do your best out there in the UAE. You've prepared 100%. Just give it your best shot.
Yeah, good luck, South Africa. we've been talking about this tournament for the last year, and we've been formulating our best 11s for quite a while. So that may not have worked out as per plan, but go for it, and I'm sure that the team will do everyone proud.
Cool, guys. Peace. Enjoy your weekend. There are two important matches this weekend. First and foremost, it is South Africa versus Australia, and then on Sunday, Liverpool versus Man United. So good. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow with our review show. Take care, everyone.